Hey guys, welcome to HKC 217 podcast, powered by All Seasons Energy and sponsored by Riders R Us.
Riders R Us are our local motorcycle dealership based in Sheffield, and the showroom is filled with a variety of used motorcycles in excellent condition, ranging from classic models to modern sports bikes and quads as well. They've got in there, haven't they, as well?
Yeah, they've got a lot of stuff in there.
So a massive shout out to Riders R Us. They've come on board for 2024. A bit of a last minute sponsorship that happened only a few weeks ago. We've been down there, great set of guys around there. So check out their Facebook page, Instagram, Rides R Us. So
this week's episode,
it's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while since we've done a podcast. So we're going to have to cover quite a lot of things, but we're going to be covering what we've been doing over the winter on the FIM MiniGP World Final, flat tracking championships, and been invited to the Rap Riders Academy, and all the way up to the round one, which we've just been to, of the 2024 British Minibike season.
So back at rewinding a little bit, so Hudson, obviously the last podcast covered Hudson qualifying for the World Finals. If you check a link in the description, obviously there's been a few blogs, so if you follow Hudson's YouTube channel, you would have been able to follow the vlog. So there's a few episodes on there. There's an actual playlist on there which covers all your FIM World Final stuff with the YouTube shorts, vlog episodes. So if you do want to cover that, or go and have a look at that, you can go and have a watch of that. The link is in the description. We will touch in brief on what an experience that was for you, going at World Finals, and how it was. So do you want to expand on that?
Yeah, it were like a mini MotoGP for kids, really. It were 5 days, I think we were there for, weren't it? Something 5 or 4. Went there, and it were the MotoGP like the week after. So we stopped for the FIM World Finals, and then after watched Bagnaia win his championship. So
we ended up stopping over for the MotoGP. I think it was a Sunday to Thursday. Then it was the MotoGP basically, weren't it? But yeah, an incredible experience. Massive shout out to Harry, Danny Webb, Steve from RD Racing, everybody who helped out, Wilson Dilks and Pete and Natalie Dilks who were there. Absolutely incredible experience. Potentially like once in a lifetime thing. Sorting all these levers out, testing all these levers. Treat every rider like superstars all week. It were a really, really amazing experience.
Yeah.
And hopefully we want to aim for doing that again, really.
This year, yeah, hopefully.
So yeah, check out the vlog. You'll see how we went on there. Obviously you will have known a little bit about it, but Hudson did reasonably well for his first time there. So did Wilson, Ethan Sparks as well. He was there. Sorry to miss out on Ethan Sparks. Ethan Sparks got into the finals. Got on the podium as well, yeah?
Got on the podium as well.
Got on the podium in the finals race.
Yeah.
So that were incredible. Just a really incredible experience. So thanks for everybody for your support. Obviously, check out them vlogs. Link in the description. So we'll move on to... Oh, we also stayed for the MotoGP. That were incredible.
Yeah.
And also then we went to the championship presentation evening.
Yeah.
In Valencia. That were incredible as well.
Yeah.
All the riders were there, all up on stage, all up in the crowd. They had a few bikes on the red carpet bit. It were really nice touch. You didn't know they were actually going to do that, did you? Which were really cool.
It was surprised at the end.
So that was on the Sunday night, I think, weren't it? After the racing, back in Valencia town centre, like an arena. So that were a pretty incredible experience. So moving on after that, we got contacted by Alex from the Rap Riders Academy, and Hudson was invited to join the Rap Riders Academy. So that's the first big announcement that I don't believe we've touched on the podcast, but obviously you will have seen that if you've been following Hudson's social pages, that Hudson, Tyler Humphreys, Joshua Herring and Caden Herring.
Yep.
We got invited to join, or Hudson got invited to join. And you've been training out in Spain?
Yeah. We've done a lot of training this winter, pretty much more than what we've ever done in any winter combined. Probably over 3 years, we've probably done more this winter.
Yeah, we've been out there pretty much every month, which has been incredible.
Yeah.
A high level of train. Well, sorry, not a high. intense training.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Hudson's touching on that if you combine everything that we've done over the last, or everything that Hudson has done over the last 3 years of racing,
for winter training wise,
we've done more. We've done more than that.
Yeah.
Over this last winter alone, being out there every month. I think we were back after the World Finals. I think we were back in Spain 2 weeks later, a week later.
Yeah, something like that.
I think we were on 17th of December, just before Christmas.
Yeah.
Which were red hot still.
Yeah, it was still red hot, yeah. And then we got back and it was Christmas, so
yeah.
quite weird.
I think we come back on the 20th of December, I think.
It was 20th, and then we had a couple of days and then it was Christmas.
So we'll put the Christmas decorations up at the beginning of December. We shot off to Spain and come back. So we've been out there, we've been training with. There's been some amazing riders actually out there, so we've seen a lot of people we know. So we've seen George Bowles out there, we've seen who else have we seen out there?
Harley
McCabe come out and train with us for a little bit. Fenton Seabright, he were there on one camp with us. Who else have we seen at the track as well? We've seen
the guy from Vision Track.
Scott Ogden, he were there.
Yeah.
He was training on it. I don't know what bike that was.
Yeah, he were on a Husky or something like that.
Yeah, we're a big bike that.
It was a big bike, but riding around with that was pretty cool.
One of the last camps that we went to, a guy who our coach were helping out, he had a Panigale Ducati. He didn't actually ride it around the track.
Panigale V4R.
Yeah, incredible.
It were mint, yeah.
Yeah, so we're all drooling over that. So yeah, we've been training a lot, working hard in preparation for fast forwarding all the way up to the start of the 2024 season. But before that, you kind of concluded your flat track season. So again, we're bouncing around a little bit here, but Hudson had to miss out a couple of the flat track rounds.
Yeah.
One for training in Spain. One for training in Spain. One for being at the World Finals.
World Final, yeah.
And the final round, I think, clashed with round one at the British Minibike Championship.
Yeah. Did it?
Yeah,
it did.
So that's only just finished the flat track season. Yeah. So Hudson come second in that championship. Again, we'll probably be wanting to do that for 2024.
Yeah, for 2024, we'll do that for the winter of this year, for training for next year. But it definitely helps doing that, getting your rear end sliding about and stuff like that.
I mean, if you want to check on Hudson's socials, where you could kind of probably play a little bit of relation between doing a little bit of flat tracking and doing the training that we've been doing out in Spain with the team and sliding control and stuff like that. It's, in my opinion, some might argue it's not.
Yeah, it helps with as you're coming out of the corner and your rear end steps out. Most people will be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to slow down there." But when you can control that slide coming out, it helps a lot in a race situation because you're on the limit, and whenever it steps out and you back off a tiny bit the next lap, that could be an overtaking opportunity for somebody who's behind you if you're in a battle with somebody. But if you're used to having that feeling of it stepping out, then it helps a lot when you're trying to set fast lap times and when you're in race conditions.
I mean, enjoy it as well. It's a good thing to do over winter.
It's really fun, yeah.
It's a good little blast. Around. I do it. I go in the rookie one. Hudson, you've actually been, I think from July, I think you're allowed to go in the...
Yeah, so I'm going to go in the bigger class next year.
Youth seniors?
Youth seniors, yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So that's where... Who's in that now? So it's like Harley's in that.
Harley and some other
Harrison
kids.
McKay?
Harrison McKay's in that when he occasionally
Dan Goodman?
comes. Dan Goodman.
Luke Hopkins?
No, I think he's in the next one.
Yeah, I think Dan Goodman does that and he does the pros as well.
He does the pros, something like that.
But Hudson's only eligible for that.
He's going to go racing tomorrow, for next year.
Well, you've had a little dabble on the practice nights racing round with them, and I think you did an event over winter. Was that the Slick Motor events where you race with Fenton and not Fenton, sorry, when you race with Harrison McKay? I forgot what other rider were as well. There were another rider there.
Oh, I don't know.
Another British Talent Cup rider. Anyway, it was good though, weren't it?
Yeah,
he actually said it goes up and down in the flat track one because there's been 3 or 4 probably last season. This year it seems like there's 5.
It seems like there's 5, yeah.
Again, who are you always racing with? In the Archer Williamson.
So I think he'll be up in that class.
He'll be up in that class too, and them two are like hammer and tongue at that. Just them two alone.
Super close racing. Yeah.
Makes a good race. And again, Hudson tried to push Archer as much as he could. Actually, Archer's won the championship twice now from here.
Yeah.
But it's been good racing.
It's been really good, yeah.
Which has been incredible, really. Like some of the most exciting racing, in my opinion.
And he does it as well, so it's pretty fun going there.
And Alana does it as well, Hudson's sister. So yeah, we all go down there. It's really, really fun. Absolutely. So check out that at Champions Flat Track. So then we'll fast forward to trying to get up to date. Oh yeah, more training. Did a 4-day winter camp just in the end of March.
Yeah.
Mid-March, was it?
Yeah.
In prep for the FIM MiniGP round 1 at Teesside. So going on to that, absolutely amazing turnout.
Yeah.
Really nice weather for round 1 at Teesside.
To say it's
incredibly
round 1 at Teesside.
Surprising.
We've clicked on the last 2 years. Were it nice last year? I'm sure it were.
Yeah, I know we've had it rough there.
We've had it rough,
but
that
were incredible this week.
Yeah,
last weekend.
It's mostly really nice there. It were like 20 degrees, wasn't it? It was something like that. Let's
not get carried away.
It were like 20 degrees.
It were nice.
Yeah,
I would say
quite
20
nice.
degrees, not in Teesside.
I think it were.
It were nice for Teesside in April.
It were hot in my leathers anyway, so.
Yeah, it were warm. So yeah, so really good turnout. Excited to see the start of the FIM MiniGP 160 Championship, FIM MiniGP 190 Championship. A lot of new riders. Ohvale 110 Championship as well obviously started. So this year it's all been supported by the ACU and the Road to MotoGP program, like officially. So next level of we had the proper ACU guy there covering all the racing, ACU track coverage, as in like the medics and everything there. Like we'll expand on that a little bit later. But the medic, like, were incredible, really, really on point, really good numbers as well. Like a massive jump up. A lot of people have jumped across from Fab. I wouldn't say jumped across. They're also the Fab Racing Championship and the B&B Championship don't actually clash. So they're able to do both, which is fantastic. So there's been some really good riders that have come across from the Fab Championship in some incredible racing in the 190 Championship with Henry
McCartney.
Who else is in that now? God, we're rubbish with names. Marco
Hull is in that. I forgot the other one. Blake Wilson.
Yep.
Yeah, Blake Wilson.
No. Yeah.
Yeah,
Blake Wilson. Yeah. Or they were hammering and tong them one.
Yeah.
So also a massive, and that's part of the road to it. The Road to MotoGP Championship. So it's back streamed on YouTube, which is incredible. Really good numbers as well on YouTube and watching it. And also, I still believe that they're still doing a highlights program that will be on a Sky channel. You'll have to check. I'll probably put the link in the. I'll put a link in the description for what channel that is now. It's actually an internet channel and a Sky channel, so you can actually record it on your Skybox, and it's a Freeview channel as well. And they do like a highlights package which will cover, I think, everything to do with the Road to MotoGP program, which starts from the mini motos back at the B&B. That were incredible.
That were really good.
Really good numbers again.
Austin, Arnie's brother were racing as well.
I think Arnie's brother just did the Friday practice. I don't think he raced.
Yeah.
I don't think he's allowed to race yet.
Is he not?
No, he's not old enough.
Just allowed to do the practice, but he really enjoyed that. I think he ran a little orange mini moto.
I think it was Arnie's old bike actually.
He came rolling past our Ronin, with a massive grin on his face.
Yeah, so really, really packed out. Absolutely wicked to be back. Really good to see some other riders. Some other riders are not only coming across to do the mini GP as well, because the non-clash with the Fab Racing Championship as well. Some people are coming across and bringing in the 50s. I don't think nobody brought this 70.
Nobody brought the 70s. No, I think it was just 50s. No, there might have been 70s in the 190 class. I
don't think they were.
Were they not?
They were just 50s. Obviously, we knew Travis.
Travis ran a 50. I raced with, Travis.
There were a few 150s, weren't there? So obviously, there's a 160/50 open as well.
So yeah, there's the FIM, which is a separate race, and then you got the open class, which I raced in both, which were really good. Yeah.
So we'll move on to his race report. So practice went really well, improving times and adjusting settings all day, comparing Alfano data with with all our riders, working on helping each other. A positive day. Despite the damp start in the morning, it was a pretty glorious round one at Teesside. Also, we had Ian from Northumbria University, who was a mechanical engineering student. Invited him down, contacted the university, and he kind of wanted to come down and do an apprenticeship thing. So a massive shout out to Ian for helping us out all weekend. Yeah. Really good. Opened his eyes a little bit into racing. He was more into karting, but
he said he's done like karting mechanics and stuff like that. But he really enjoyed the biking side of it. He said biking is a lot more exciting than karting.
Did they?
Yeah, that's what he said. He said that. I asked him in the awning straight up.
You made it more exciting, I know that.
I asked it straight up in the awning,
So we will go on to qualifying. So after morning warm up, we had a long wait for Q1 in both the FIM 160 and Open 160 class. In Q1 in both the FIM 160 and the Open, I set my best lap times. Q2 later in the day was a lot cooler. Don't really think anybody improved the times in Q2.
Not in Q2.
It dropped a lot,
the temperature dropped a lot, and you could feel the rear end step out a lot through the infield, so you couldn't get on the power as early.
So you qualified in P4.
Yeah.
In both the Ohvale 160 FIM class and the Open 160 class. So moving on to race 1. If you want to cover on race 1 there.
Yeah, so race 1, I started in P4, got the lead from Tyler and Wilson, and they were just behind me coming into turn 1. I think Tyler just got up the inside of me on the second corner, if you call it.
I think it ran lap 2, that wasn't it?
Lap 2, yeah. I must think I led for a lap, and then on the second corner, he got me down the inside into turn 2, where it was really bumpy down there. Because they like resurface some of the things. They put like some of the corners. So like the apex area of the corner, they resurface that with like this weird tarmac. So as you come over it, it really unsettled your front end, and it had like a dip and then a dip on the way out. So I weren't as good as. That's where I lose most of my time through there. But then Wilson passed me down like the hill into turn 3.
Turn 3, yeah, that was turn 3, yeah.
Yeah. And stopped behind them. Wilson and Tyler kind of pulled away a little bit.
I think you did close back up on them.
They pulled away, and then I had a moment down at the bottom corner.
I think you caught back up with them, did your fastest lap at race.
Yeah.
And then Tyler did his fastest lap, and Wilson did his fastest lap, and they kind of like checked out a little bit from you. But I think they were like 6 seconds.
6 seconds by the end of the race.
By the end of the race, just chipped away a little bit. Like them guys were knocking into. I think you did a 1:14.
It was 1:14.1.5, I think it were, and they were in the 1:13s.
1:13.9, 1:13.8, which are incredible.
Only a tenth or a second off, but every lap that obviously adds up to.
But really happy with
really happy with where I came, yeah. And yeah,
there weren't anybody. I think like 4th place were. He might have been like 8 seconds down the road.
Yeah. So
yeah, really good to get back racing. Race 1. Boom, we're in it, obviously. Kind of went back as a parent and a dad watching. You kind of forget after 6 months of not racing, like all the nerves are like watching racing again. You're like, oh God, obviously I've not discussed this to Hudson, but when you realise that you get back racing, you're like, oh, that's that feeling that I hadn't had since October last year. It creeps back up on you. But yeah, really good. Wicked to see everybody. We had all the setup and everything, so yeah, we're really good like first weekend. So then you rolled into the Open class, race 1.
Yeah.
So I'll let you take over that one.
So I started in P4, got a really good start again, got the whole shot into turn 1. So on the start-finish straight, it's got a little kink, and I forgot to mention this on the first race. But on the start, they miss out that kink because it'll be chaos into essentially turn 1. So they miss out the kink and go straight down the hill, which is, I personally think, is a lot better because it'll be chaos into turn 1, and I'm sure there'll be a few crashes into there.
We have seen. I think that got changed like 3 years ago because pretty much. I don't know about in your class,
Yeah, not in my class.
The pit
in
bike
the
class.
pit bike class, it were absolutely
pandemonium.
nuts. There were like 6 people that came off, and they were just massive crashes into there.
So it's a good thing, and they pulled the barrier across after the starter riders have finished.
Yeah.
So yeah, you bombed off into the lead.
Tyler got me straight down on the first lap into we'll call it turn 2. Into turn 2, and then Wilson got past me into turn 3 as well. No, he didn't. No, Wilson didn't get past me. So I was on the back of Tyler coming down the back straight, getting a slipstream, come through, and I was...
This was the second lap,
yes.
It weren't first lap.
So coming through, I would think about 2/10 off Tyler, so not too far off. I was sopping up with Tyler. Wilson still hadn't passed me yet.
Wilson weren't in this race.
Were you not?
No.
Oh yeah, he weren't.
Wilson win the 190 race, but yeah, carry on.
Yeah, so on the back of Tyler, and then came on the back straight, got a slipstream, and I've knocked it, and I've got closer to the back of Tyler. I've knocked it down a gear a bit earlier, so I can, because I was like closing up on Tyler essentially. Brakes a couple of metres earlier, and it stepped out the rear end a little bit, and that pushed me enough to come in through the flip-flop to clip a curb, and as I've clipped the curb, it's like spat up my rear end. And then as it's landed, I've got into a massive tank slapper, and it kind of spit me off the bike. I hit the wall, hurt my leg, and then all the ambulance crew came round, and then I woke up.
Woke up?
Well, not woke up, opened my eyes. Sorry.
Steady on, cowboy.
I want to open my eyes because somebody moved the flag in front of me, so... because the sun were actually in my eyes, so somebody moved the flag in front of my eyes, and then I opened my eyes and there were like 10 people around me.
Can you remember me there?
I can remember you there, yeah.
What coming across?
Yeah. And then I can remember the marshal saying, don't move, don't move. So I didn't move, and then he unzipped my vest and stuff like that, because I've got my air vest. Checking my leg, and then they brought me to the ambulance, drove me back round into a bit where they could check me up. And they said that it could be a potential hairline fracture in my right leg, and then they said I've torn a ligament in my left foot. So they said you can't race, you need to go get it x-rayed by today, essentially. So we stopped and supported Tyler so they red flagged it obviously, and it was a full restart. So watch Tyler from the inside of the track.
we were on inside, weren't
inside of the track, yeah, watching Tyler. And then watch Caden and that for his 110 race and stuff like that, and also Joshua. So stopped to support them, packed all up, got home, went to hospital, got my leg and my foot x-rayed. They said I've just torn a ligament in my left foot, which can...
So he's torn a ligament?
The paramedics said that I've torn a ligament, definitely, in my left foot. But they said that my leg weren't fractured. And
no fracture, yeah?
Yeah, no fracture.
So he was literally limping about like playing it up for the crowd, really.
I weren't playing it up for the crowd.
No, it were genuine. I mean, his foot has actually been like black and blue.
Yeah, it's been changing colours. It's been all the colours. Today it's blue.
So he's been resting up for a couple of weeks. Yeah. Luckily, they've been off school, which has been like kind of perfect. Kind of missed doing his little side thing that he does, which is Royal Air Cadets.
Yeah.
Missed doing any training with them as well. On the rest, it's just round about right now, isn't it?
Yeah. Just got some new boots.
Yeah. So like the crash, obviously, were a little bit traumatic. Obviously, it's on the live feed if you want to go and have a little look at what actually happened.
Yeah.
It were a good one. Like people in the crowd were like screaming. Ah! It were a bit traumatic. I actually seen that Hudson were, I wouldn't say all right. I just seen that he put his hand up to the paramedic to like undo his levers.
Yeah.
So
and then
yeah,
I went to go like unzip my leathers and went, don't move. So I was like, well, you got to undo my leathers then. And then he said, I can't touch you. And I went, you can. I'm not hurt anywhere on my top. Just unzip my leathers. And then he unzipped my leathers.
Yeah, he might have just been a marshal that first.
Yeah, I think he was just a marshal because I seen his orange vis, like high vis, and normally they have yellow ones for paramedics.
Yeah, I don't know if you were an ACU recovery marshal. I've got to say like a massive shout out to the paramedic team and
They're
everything
amazing.
that were there. So there were like two ambulances there, three paramedic
paramedic
cars.
Yeah.
Or two.
I think I had like 4 or 5 paramedics
absolutely.
and ambulance people around me.
Absolutely top notch, and really pleased to see that kind of level of coverage there at racing. I mean, it were a big crash.
To get me gas and air and everything, they treated me really good.
Yeah, so and it were kind of like hobbling around for the rest of the day. So even if the answer said you could race,
I don't think I could have raced.
You might have been able to wobble round.
I probably could have wobbled round, but I couldn't get my foot in my boot because
your foot had already swollen
up and everything. So
we decided the paramedic, bit of info there. It felt like the paramedic said, "Oh, just get it scanned when you get back home. You don't, but you need an X-ray before you race." Okay, and also knowing it was bank holiday in Teesside, and more than likely you'd have been sat in, God knows how long you would have been in hospital there. It kind of felt like she kind of entered, or one of the other paramedics said, "Go when you go home."
Yeah, no, they said you can either go to the one that's closest to Teesside karting, or you can go to the one that obviously is closest to us at home.
So obviously we've got Sheffield Children's Hospital, one that best in country, back in Sheffield. So literally as soon as we stopped here, me and Hudson's sister unloaded everything up, and him and his mum went to the Children's Hospital, and they were there till 3 in the morning. So even though
about 6 hours,
6 hours waiting
in the waiting room.
So
all X-rayed.
All good really. So we'll move on. Where are we at? So we'll move on and we'll go to the team results for. Massive thanks to the track medics and marshals, and all the well wishes that you got as well. So obviously we put a little post saying that you were all right. There were a lot of people messaging. Again, if you watch it on the live feed, it looks
in the live feed actually.
Really,
didn't you put in a message?
I did put in a message on the live feed.
So on the live feed, as I was sat in the awning, I was reviewing my data off the crash on my Alfano, and then it came up on the live feed because we had the telly up in the awning, and it said, Hudson Cooper has just texted now saying that he's all right. So that was nice that he actually said on the live feed to let everyone know that we're all good.
Yeah, and we've got a load of messages. Obviously, we've got a Patreon WhatsApp group. Obviously, all family members. And if you're watching it live, it it was worse than actually being there because Chris Chisora was like, "Oh, and a very heavy crash there for Hudson Cooper. Oh my goodness,
gosh, his bike's gone through the tyre wall.
Not what we want to see there." So anyway, but also Hudson had to miss race 2 of the FIM.
Yeah.
And race 2 of the Open 160. But it is what it is. That's what happens.
And obviously DNF'd in the race.
And DNF'd in race 1 in the 160 Open. So we will go through to team results. So talking about our teammates. So Tyler Humphries, he come second in race 1 of the FIM MiniGP and first in race 2. And if you want to carry on that. So in the Open 160.
In the Open 160, he came first and first.
Your results are FIM 160, you come third in race 1.
And the Open are...
And the DNF in race 2.
And DNS in race 2, yeah.
Joshua Herring, he come in the 160 Ohvale.
He came 6th and 7th.
And
then Open, he came 6th and a DNF in the last one.
And last rider, Caden Herring, he came 3rd and 3rd in the Ohvale 110 Cup and 4th and 4th in the Ohvale Open. So a bit of a weird one that. I wouldn't say a weird one actually, they did this last year. So in the Ohvale 110, and they did this last year and it actually worked last year. So, oops, sorry, I just banged the microphone. In the Ohvale 110 Cup, they did this last year. Don't know if it's necessary this year.
Amazing result, by the way. So, yeah, go on, carry on.
Yeah, so they've kind of combined the classes. So there's the Ohvale 110 Cup and the Open combined together in the same race there. So that's why Caden's come 3rd in the Ohvale 110 Cup and 4th in the Open. And that is because Parker Cesare won the Open class race who you used to race with last year.
Yeah.
So all in all, and I will cover the results, but make sure you're following Grassroots to GP. He's kind of covering everything to do with that, and that's one of the reasons why we're working with him a little bit, that he is taking in rider reports. Make sure you're following that channel because you're basically going to be able to get all the coverage of everything that every other rider's going.
I had an interview of him after the World Final, didn't I?
Yeah, so there's a couple of good little plug there. So if you do want to talk about, actually go back to the beginning of the podcast there, talking about the FIM World Finals, there's 2 podcasts where Hudson talked to Grassroots to GP with Charles Mortimer. We'll put a link in the comments and in the description for that one. And you did another one with for the Love of MotoGP guys. We actually met out in Valencia when we were there as well.
Yeah.
So there's 2 podcasts there, kind of covering everything. It's basically a podcast about what happened as well. So if you're into audio listening, and you will have seen that link on the socials, you will be able to listen to Hudson. Wilson's on there, Ethan's on there, Charles Mortimer's on there.
Yeah, Charles Mortimer.
Yeah, so really good one that. So yeah, good link across there.
In the description.
Link in the description. So next part is that you are.
We're excited to announce that we'll be racing the Free Tech Junior Talent Cup this year, and I'm really looking forward to round 1, which is coming up in a couple of days. Can't wait to get the season underway. We did 1 round last year, and I came 3rd. I think about a couple of seconds off Laken in 1st. So really excited for that. We'll just sticking some parts on the bikes. We'll just stick like a tyre pressure system on the bike, and it tells you like it's wireless, and you got a dash on your dashboard. Tells you your tyre pressures and your tyre temps. So we're just fitting that.
Yeah, and we've just fitted the Alfano on the weekend as well.
Yeah.
Got all that up and running.
Got all
nice
new
and
stickers and everything, yeah.
Yeah, so really excited for that.
Really
so that's the
that.
at Teesside. Really looking forward to that. So to rewind a little bit, that Hudson has been training on a Moto 5 in Spain. So it's not like I would say, not a brand new bike at all. Well, we did a Teesside test a few weeks ago.
Teesside test,
a month ago.
Yeah.
On the Free Tech.
On the Free Tech, we did a Teesside test.
Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, good. It didn't feel as bumpy on the Free Tech bike as much as it did in the Ohvales. No, it didn't. It were a lot softer on the Free Tech. Obviously, because it's heavy, it probably don't bounce as much.
Interesting.
But yeah, really excited for that.
So that'll be like the next race for Hudson coming up. So, and then finally, after a big, I don't think we've done bad for time there. So
Yeah,
after a big review, we will cover the MotoGP Fantasy League, sponsored by Grassroots to GP. So we've had a great sign up again for the 2024 season. Obviously, you will have seen this on the socials a couple of rounds ago to do with the MotoGP start of the season. We've got 45 members in the HKC 217 league. We're also in a few other leagues. So for the Love of MotoGP, Motopod, I think there's a few others that me and Hudson are in as well, but Hudson's own league. So if you just search for HKC 217, you'll be able to find Hudson's league on the official MotoGP fantasy website. And we've got entries again from like Spain, Canada, USA, South Africa, Hong Kong, New Zealand, Argentina, India. Where else is there? I said South Africa,
America,
Poland, Austria, America. Wow, incredible.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of his friends in there as well, which is kind of why we did it. Didn't know that we were going to get 45, 50 odd people in there.
Yeah.
Got a prize given away from Grassroots to GP. So, massive shout out to Grassroots to GP for that. Here are the top 10 after 2 rounds. And we're looking forward to the next round of MotoGP that's coming up this weekend. That's at Circuit of the Americas.
Yeah.
Qatar. For round 3.
See how they're going to do at the Circuit of Americas. They said last year they were really bumpy.
Yeah, did they not say they were going to resurface it?
They said they were going to resurface it. It was something like that, but we'll see if they resurface it.
So we will briefly go over the top 10 as I look down. So RR112, which is a lad who we actually come and found, is it?
No,
that's not him, is it?
It's not him, because it's the P1 Nicholas.
Oh, right, he's been knocked down one of them.
I think it's him, yeah.
Anyway, so we will go... Yeah. Obviously, one problem is that the usernames on here do not relate to normally anybody's name.
Yeah.
So in first position is RR112 from Spain on 341 points, and they have got
15 grand on the dot.
15 grand left on the dot. So they have got Bagnaia, Jorge Martin, Pedro Costa, and Augusto Fernandez, Ducati, and Red Bull Gas. And that seems a very common theme. So that's who's in first position. Is that right? Yeah?
Yeah, first.
Augusto Fernandez, yeah. So that's
pretty impressive.
P1 has actually used one of his boosts as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, so in second position is P1 Nicholas from Great Britain on 207 points. In third position is Slim Fresh from Canada on 296 points. In fourth position is Popcorn Machine from ZAF, which I believe is South Africa. I don't know why I'm saying that, but I'm sure I've looked into that before. In fifth position is El Loco 76 Racing, who we also know as Luca Wilkinson.
Yeah.
Let's have a little spy at Luca's team. Bagnaia, Jorge Martin, Pedro Acosta, Augusto Fernandez. Yeah, it looks like everybody's got the same there.
Everyone's got the same there.
In eighth position is... in seventh position... in eighth position is Fisher Bikes, is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right? In sixth position, in Fisher Bikes from the USA, 288 points. In eighth position, El Loco, which is
Luca's dad.
I bet he's got exactly the same.
Exactly the same as his son.
Yeah, so I don't know why. Is that why all them are...
That's why they're all the same point.
That's why all them are on 288. Like.
So from fourth to eighth, they've all got the same points because they've all got the same teams pretty much.
So in eighth position, is that right? Norfolk Enchants from GB and 286.
Ninth is simply the Bez.
Yeah, ninth is simply the Bez from New Zealand.
New Zealand.
And in 10th position, Four-Man Racing from ZAF. And we'll scroll down a little bit. So Boss Lady is Hudson's mum, and she's in 13th position. And who else is there?
S20 Racing.
S20 in 22nd position.
Yeah.
With 257 points. Oh, I'm bang underneath him on
23rd.
200. Oh, we're both at the same points there.
Yeah.
And Miss Alana, she's bang underneath as well. Scrolling down a little bit more, you're in 29th position. Nobody else we know there. For the Love of MotoGP, I believe that's both. Oh, it says 30th twice there. So that's Tim from For the Love of MotoGP podcast.
Yeah.
Who else have we got there? 2024 champion, I don't know who that is.
Jack Newton's mum.
Mum Newton Racing, she's in 37th position. Desmo Carr in 39th position. That's about it, really.
Desmo Carr is Arnie Carr's dad.
Yeah, Arnie Carr's dad. So, massive shout out. Link in the description, but all you have to do is search for HKC 217 and you will find Hudson's MotoGP Fantasy League in there, basically. Yeah. There's only one HKC 217 in there, so if you just type it in when searching for a league, you will find it and get involved and get a shout out. And hopefully you don't come bottom. That's my objective.
Yeah. Don't
come 45th. And have a little battle between yourself. We're having a good little battle there. Yeah. Don't know what you're doing. You're rubbish at this. 30th.
Yeah. What team have I got again?
So Hudson's team is Bagnaia, Marquez, Acosta. Everybody's got the same team.
I just need to switch Marquez for thingy, but his price is probably skyrocketed.
Yeah, I think it might change. So that concludes the end of the HKC 217 podcast episode. What was it? 36.
Wow, wrapping up these episodes, aren't we?
Special thanks out to all Hudson's Patreon members who have been in the exclusive WhatsApp chat over the last few months over winter. You can get inside that WhatsApp chat for as little as £1 a month, and it gains you access to exclusive behind the scenes videos, news, what you're up to. Hudson's actually in that WhatsApp chat.
Yeah.
So you're not really out of the loop there. So a lot of things that don't go on social media, loads of training videos, what we're up to, gets posted on there like pretty much daily on what we're doing, prepping the bikes, etc, etc. So head over to patreon.com/HKC217 and you can pick a membership level there from £1 a month all the way up to being a business like the ones below, are on being able to get involved on having sponsorship, names on the bike, names on your helmet, etc, etc. So going through into the 2024 sponsors that Hudson has got, a massive shout out to, as always, All Seasons Energy.
Yeah.
Gastite Industries Limited, Rides Are Us, who have come aboard for the 2024 season. Big shout out to Dean from Helmet City, who's going to be helping Hudson out as a Helmet City race supported rider for 2024. A&B Interior Projects Limited, Dolly's Desserts,
Sheffield Van Air,
Regency Wealth Management,
Sheffield Forged Armour Boxing Club,
Amateur Boxing Club.
Yeah, amateur. It looks armour from here.
DG Plastering, Next Gen Systems Limited,
Lee Freeman Fitness, Fina Watson Art, S20 Doors and Floors, 151s, Egg on Legs Design and Print, Grassroots to Grand Prix, Jack Property, what's that say?
Top Flight Construction,
Construction, HKC Patreon members, Wiz Racing Products, OK Clothing, and Moto Loco.
So massive thanks for everybody who has hopefully tuned back in. Make sure you like and subscribe to the podcast. You can also find this podcast on YouTube in video form. Make sure you subscribe to his channel there. Also make sure you look at the HKC 217 vlogs. All the links to the vlogs will be in the description.
Yeah.
I'll try and pop them up if you're watching on YouTube as we're talking about it, if you want to watch the FIM vlog. Also the FIM podcast that you did with Brits to MotoGP and Grassroots is actually on YouTube as well. If you're a YouTube nerd, if you're a podcast nerd, the links are in the description for the podcast that I'm talking about that Hudson were on.
Yeah.
So we will be continuing on with the vlogs for 2024, which will be upcoming. I've had a few months off doing that, which has been really nice after a busy 2023. So there'll be vlogs upcoming. We will be doing podcasts again for every single round. Looking forward to round 1 of the Free Take Talent Cup coming up next.
Yeah.
And we will see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.